Good evening. It is 7 o'clock on Thursday, and we're here for Black Mental Health is Black Health. I'll let you know we're in the process of doing some rebranding. Things are going to change, but we will still be here. If you've never been here before, we start out with deep breathing. Why? I don't know what your day may or may not have been, but it can't hurt to take some deep, cleansing breaths. So here's how we do it. I'm going to count into four and say breathe in to four and breathe out to four. We'll take about three deep breaths and let's see how you feel. So breathe in, two, three, four, out, two, three, four. In, two, three, four. Out, two, three, four. One more. In, two, three, four. Out, two, three, four. I always have to get one in. How did that feel, Colette?
It was wonderful. I mean, especially when you're clearing, it's like you're pressing against your diaphragm and just releasing the tension and the anxiety. Felt great.
Awesome. Well, tonight we have Colette Martin, Coco, and she is going to talk to us about stress management for the business owner. And even if you're not a business owner, I guarantee you can get some tips just on managing your stress. Stress is something that's in our lives. Stress can kill you, literally. That is why it is important to talk about stress management. And if you're a business owner, you are the only way you get a paycheck. That can be stressful. So, Coco, tell us who you are and tell us something cool about yourself.
Well, once again, my name is Colette Martin. I am CEO and founder of Business in Pearls. It is a public relations company. Um, let's see what else. I have a extension of my business. It's a wellness extension, and it's called Morning Days, and that's DAYZ. And basically, being a business owner, being from the educational sector, we come under a lot of stress every single day. But transforming from the world of business, from a building to working pretty much on your own, it takes on different types of stressors. A little thing about me, let's see. Oh my gosh, there's so many different hats that I've worn. But I am from New York City, the Bronx. And
We could never tell by that accent.
no, just a little bit. I've been southernized, if you will. But yes, that's just a brief introduction about who I am. Mom, two sons that I love so dearly. Um, and that's pretty much it. I would say I have a lot, but we only have a certain amount of time, Baldwin.
Right.
So yes, that's good enough.
Awesome. So we're going to jump right into it. When we think about stress management, I made the comment a few minutes ago that stress can kill you. And I did not mean that figuratively, I meant that literally. And the reason I say that is anxiety and stress can exacerbate anything that's going on in your life health wise. And the example I like to give is this: if you know anybody, if you yourself, or you know anybody who has high blood pressure, when you're in a stressful situation, your blood pressure will rise. That's stress. Well, if your blood pressure goes too high for too long, that's not a good thing. So that's just an example, a concrete example of me saying that, yeah, it really can kill you. If you have certain health challenges, the stress on your body and the stress, the mental stress can make it worse. People with things like cancer, multiple sclerosis, it can make it worse. So we need to manage that stress. So, when we think about entrepreneurs, business owners, why is it important that they even think about stress? Because I got a business to run. So why should they worry about it?
Well, for me, once again, as a business owner, we take on a lot of responsibilities, like you mentioned. If you have worked in a facility and you earning a paycheck that someone's giving you, it's
Mhm.
you relieve the responsibilities of, oh, the company's not growing, that's not my problem as long as I get paid. When you're a business owner, I am the owner, I am the boss, I'm writing my own checks, so I have to pay attention to every single detail. That brings on a whole different type of stress, a whole different type of worry, a whole different level of responsibility. And as business owners, even if you're not a business owner, you have to take care of yourself. You have to make sure that you're constantly checking to make sure, am I good or am I good? So yeah, it's different, very very different.
So, what led you to even want to teach about stress and encourage others?
Well, as an educator of 20 years, that in itself brings on all different types of stress levels, to the very, very high to the very, very low. And I suffered with stress just like many people do. But my stress went to a different level. It activated my migraines, severe migraines, to a point where during jury duty, the judge asked me, was I okay? And I said, no. And he looked at me in my eyes and he said, you're having a migraine, aren't you? And I said, yes, because the eyes start twitching, roaming
Mhm.
back and forth and free flowing because since I have severe migraine, it, I have all three. So between the sight, the smell, and the
Mhm.
taste, it got to a point where I was passing out. I passed out in front of my students several times. They had to call an ambulance. So for me, that level of stress on top of other things, I had to get it under control. So I decided to, you know, understand my stressors. That's the first thing, and do something about it. And in doing something about it, continue to investigate, research on it. I even went to a point where, you know what, let me take some courses on it. And I became certified. And now I'm trying to assist women in understanding how to look for those stressors in their own bodies and throughout their work time that they have, either at home or in the workplace. So, yes, the best model is yourself.
Mhm.
So, since I know I suffer from that, I know how to deal with it. So, I'm trying to help others as well.
Awesome. And that's also proving my point or substantiating what I had to say, that um, stress impacts your mental health, your physical health.
Hmm.
And like, I gave the example, it can actually kill. And if you have certain things, but you see how for you it was a direct correlation from the stress you were feeling and the migraines.
And if I
You
may interject something real
Mhm.
quick, Rowan, when I passed out, they took me to the nurse's office. My blood pressure was 145 over 137. Paramedics came in
Wow.
and was like, "You're at seizure mode, slight stroke." I forgot the terminology for it, but that's what happened to me. And to go to that level, like you said, I could have died. You never know. You have to make sure you're checking what is that stress inducer for you. And it's a
Mm.
serious matter that, yes, you have to understand it and prevent it before it actually happens.
Wow. Were you able to determine what your specific stressor was, what the trigger was?
Yes, in the classroom, anyone that's been in a school knows that they have the air, what those lights in the classroom that push off,
Fluorescent lights?
the fluorescent lights. Yes,
Mhm.
I have to either dim them or put covers on them.
Mhm.
So when you come in, natural light, if I have a window, if I didn't, in the classrooms that didn't have windows, I had to have lamp lights.
Mhm.
That was that was a key trigger right there.
Yes.
So, and then understanding, how do I manage it? How do I manage, okay, it's coming on. What can I do? And in putting together a day by day plan to understand how to control it.
Awesome. I get that. When we think of, and thanks for giving that example because I always say that physical health and mental health are not separate. It's just health. They're different sides of our health, different way to look at it, and one impacts the other. And so you really are proving my point. When we think about challenges, though, getting back to just business professionals. You alluded to this, but I want you to elaborate a little more. What are some challenges going from corporate, working for someone, as you said, I do my job, but I don't have to worry about all the ins and outs, and I still get a check, to entrepreneur, where I have to do everything and something could still go wrong, and it's all on me. What are some challenges that you could going from corporate to entrepreneur?
Well, I've been a manager in a telecommunications setting, as well as teacher. And one of the things that transitioning from that to being a full time business owner is understanding how to set your environment from the beginning of the day all the way to the end of the day. You look at how do I induce office relaxation? Because we are under so much stress. Think about plants, things that you go through the five senses. So maybe looking at something that's pleasant, something that you smell. When you think about being happy, what can I smell? So one
Mm-hmm.
of the things that I tell the people in my classes that for stress management is lavender. Lavender scents of serenity. It reduces blood pressure. And for me, that was a big thing. So I had it in my classroom. And heart rate. A lot of people don't know that. So have lavender plants around you. They call it a snake plant. I'm not sure the actual name of it, but it looks
Mm-hmm.
a little spiky on the end and kind of rolls up. But it makes you breathe easier. It improves the air quality. Another plant they can try is it's called a peace lily.
Ah,
It
okay.
reduces dry skin, static electricity in the home or the office, and reduces the colds. And the
Mm.
last one that I normally suggest is an English ivy. That in itself collects the airborne mold and helps with respiratory issues. So all of that, and once again, it's about research. I love flowers, so having fresh flowers in the home, or in your office. The other thing is try to create some type of pattern. When I wake up, the first thing I do, sorry, viewers, is I thank God for waking me up and being with me side by side throughout the day, and just enjoying His grace and mercy. After
Mhm.
that, I do my stretching exercises. That's important to get your body, feeling okay. I'm ready for the day to do some type of stretching exercises. Once again, it's about having a routine and trying to stick to this routine daily. That will help. If you're a person that loves listening to, let's say, the TV that motivates you, well, we know that in a corporate setting, you can't do that. So if you're used to that and you're at home, does the TV distract you? If it doesn't, or if it does, you're constantly shifting to the TV, but you're not working, try music, soft music. There's so many different things on Spotify or whatever you like listening to. Try the softer music, perhaps. you know Once again, it's about setting the environment, setting what you do from the very beginning to the end of the day. Wind down your day with positive affirmations about your day. Write out the negative things, but what was positive? What inspired you? How could you have dealt with it differently? But don't harbor on that, and do like a 5 minute write. So you can, without stopping, just 5 minutes, just write to get out all of your feelings, all of your emotions, and that helps you to de-stress at night before going to bed so you can actually get a good night's rest. So
Let me ask you this then. Um, I won't say what I think about this. I'll see your opinion first. Do you think there's such a thing as work life balance, work slash home life balance?
I thoroughly believe so. And I say that because when we go to work, like in a corporate setting or outside the home, we have a schedule. Let's say 8 to 4, 9 to 5, 10 to 7, whatever the case may be. As an entrepreneur, as a business owner, we look at no time restraints. Oh my gosh, I got to get up at 6:30. Oh gosh, I finish at 10 p.m. Set a limit, set a timer. Say, you know what? At this particular time every day, shut it down. Shut it down. Yes, you are a business owner, but you still have to look at restraints. You still have
Yes.
to understand that there's a limit. Stop taking them 9 o'clock calls. Not unless, of course, that's your business and you work at night. That's different. But understand limits. Set your timer to begin,
Mm-hmm.
set a time, you clock out, enjoy TV time, watching movies, whatever you like to do. I take walks during the day if I can. If not, take out that hour to stress or stretch. I can't even get out. Stretch, relax, meditate,
Mm-hmm.
pray, whatever you need to do. But understand the limits of being a business owner. When to start your day, when to end the day, family time, family time. If you stick to that, just try it. 10 days, 21 days, a month, it will become routine for you. That's my opinion that has worked.
That is the thing. I do agree with that. So I had a conversation with someone recently, and they said, as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, there's no such thing as work life balance. And my comment was, that's a choice. Because as a business owner or as an employee, you choose what you do with your time.
It's a
You
mindset.
work for someone else or yourself. There are things you have to do for the job. But like you say, have a cutoff time because you're in the office, you have a cutoff time. And yes, some jobs, you're there feel like forever. But even then, there needs to be a cutoff time. And it is the same. And I think because it's difficult being an entrepreneur in the terms of everything is on you, but you do have to know how to cut it off. So my son, my adult son, lives with me, and sometimes we'll say, "Okay, we last night, we getting ready to eat dinner." Okay, well then you need to get up from the computer. It's time, and it was about 8:30. I did need to get up from the computer.
Mm-hmm.
So we need to have that own voice in our head that it's time. And in my mind, I knew once I stopped, I'd be done for the night. I probably wasn't gonna come back, and I hadn't reached the goal I wanted to for the day. So sometimes we'll come back, and sometimes it's like my brain is like, no. And we listen to that, and we might be more effective if we wait and wake up earlier the next morning and start. But finding your balance, and like you say, this is your work window, and keeping time for family, and that's important because as you are working, you want to do more, you want to do more, you want to do more. You've got to do this, you want to get to this goal. And we have those goals as business owners, and you want to get XYZ. But if you lose your family in the process, is it worth it?
It's a mindset. It's understanding that, yes, this is all I have, and your mental and physical health is all you have. And if you don't
Mhm.
have that, you can't accomplish everything that you want. And sometimes you have to step back, you know, and that can be detrimental to everything that's going on, especially if this is all you have. So it's a
Mhm.
mind shift, if you will, to understand that there is a balance. I have to create a balance. And like I always say, we always go do our annual checkups. And this is for you as well, Bronwyn. There's the mental checkup.
Yes.
Do a yearly mental checkup
Mhm.
along with the physical checkup,
Yes.
so you can understand that the mental is part of the physical. Without the mental, your physical will break down as well.
Mhm. So true. And here's a tip for a lot of small business owners, insurance might be an issue. There are organizations that actually work to provide some free therapy sessions. I've been
Mm,
made privy to them. I will post them on the Facebook page. I called to talk to a person today to ask her what was the name of that organization, and we started talking about everything because we hadn't talked in a month and a half, so we were catching up. And I did not get that, but I do know that you have to be creative, and that's another thing. As an entrepreneur, you have to be creative anyway. To
mhm,
make your business work. Be as creative about and intentional about yourself as you are about your business. And that's why I say, yes, seek it out. There are ways to find things for your health, both medical, mental, and physical. And so we have to do that. Find that that's part of that balance. Earlier you were talking about the home office environment.
mhm,
How do you set it? How do you recommend, entrepreneurs who are like, okay, I'm working out of home, not even so much because I just want to be at home. I can't afford to go out and get a space right now, and then when you're just starting out, it's not necessary,
mhm,
depending on, your business. So
mhm.
what kind of tips would you say for the person? I do like the idea of this, the smells, because that is so important. I even soft music, playing around. What are some other things you might say to help set the environment?
Declutter.
Good one.
That's something hard that some people have issues with. But even if you don't have a large dedicated room in your home, even if it's that space, you have a desk, you may have a lamp light somewhere close by, or if not, you just have the light on the ceiling, which is fine. Declutter. Have that space clean so you can get to things that you need. I'm all about post-it notes. I love post-it notes. Um, you know, get a cork board and put the sticky notes on the board, instead of all over the desk. Um, I'm a big proponent of, if you declutter, then your mind also
Mhm,
will be free of stuff that
mhm,
that's negative that you don't need. So put the sticky notes on the mirror in your bathroom. You go to the bathroom, put them on the mirror in the bathroom, or a chalkboard, and just put it on the board. But keep it, clean and fresh every day. If you have, toys by, if you have small children, well, that's that area that, no, we can't have the toys in that area. You know, um, Extra things that's not part of your business should be away from you. It's about looking at, okay, this is my space, this is my office area. So the way it looks, the way it smells, um, even down to maybe tasting. Maybe you need mints nearby, you know. Um, things that you hear. I mentioned the soft music. Maybe you need to work in a quiet area. Maybe you don't have a quiet area. You have a closet. Maybe you
mm.
need to work in the closet, for a few hours. Something that says, this is my space and I'm able to commit to it being my space.
And I would add to that, be creative with the space. So and we've talked on this show about the concept of grounding and being in touch with nature. And
Mhm.
not this week, not last week, and probably not next week. I will sometimes sit outside just to work. And I have a table out there.
Mhm.
And I have a plug out there, so I can literally go plug in my computer and sit outside. Won't be doing it this week, but can sit outside. So when we think about that environment, sometimes it helps to just kind of switch it up a little bit. And I
Mhm.
agree that if you, the more organized it is, you can think more clearly, generally speaking, when it's clear around you and you're not seeing or have to go, where is this? And you're constantly in that state. So I would add to be keep have that environment and then sometimes switch it up. I know sometimes for me, I will actually go work at the library just to get out of the house. I'll just kind of like, okay, I'm cluttered mentally. Everything looks good, but it's too much. So I might go to a coffee house or go to the library for a few
Mhm.
hours and get more work done in that time than I would have had I sat at home. And sometimes it's because it is home. And you can go if I'm working on a major project or of certain days of the week I have a lot of clients, I could literally not leave the house for 4 days because I'm working, 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 and the nature of my work, I'm at home. So you look at what is it for you, and so sometimes it's like, okay, I need to. These 4 walls are closing in. I need something else, and I still have to work. So I think it's about, and that's part of the balance because sometimes you want the home to feel like home. So I need
Mhm.
to get out of it for a minute.
Yes,
Uh,
and that's a good point because once again, like I said, I usually do like an hour, to do the walking, the
hmm
meditation, praying. But you need to get out of your environment. If you were in a workplace, you
hmm
might go out to eat, you might do something like that, or meet someone. Same thing with your home life for work. Go
hmm
out, change up the environment, dress up, if you will, go out, come in, even if it's just to, feel good. Show up every day. Show up, like from head to toe, show up. Some days we just don't feel like it. I understand, but it's okay. It's okay, especially if you work from home. But like you said, even if you're in a workplace outside the home, still go outside for, some a breather, fresh air,
hmm
sunshine, something. Just switch it up, and that will help de stress you as well. Because constantly working at the computer, in your office, at home, listening to the sounds, yelling at the kids, all of that begins to build up, and you have to understand how to pull back and manage
hmm
it.
Yes. Well, our time has quickly come and gone. I like to end every show with a call to action. And tonight's call to action is one that fits to so many of them that we talk, so many things we talk about, and that is take care of you and find balance. As a business professional who's working out of your home, or if you have your own business and you have an office,
Mhm.
don't forget to take time for you. If you're someone who's not a business owner and you have a job you go to, take time for you. If you're retired and you're home, guess what? You could still be at home, retired, and not taking care of yourself because you're taking care of grandchildren. You're taking care of children. You're volunteering three to 4 days a week. You're doing everything to stay busy. So find that balance, regardless of what state you're in life. But for the business professional, stay balanced. And I always end the last challenge and call to action is always, or probably always will be, vote, vote, vote. Don't just vote. Be an educated voter, not just in a presidential election, but in every election. Be an educated voter. It's so important. Do you have any final words you like to say, Colette, to the business owner, or any final words, period?
Start off your day with being positive. We live in a world that's full of energy. The more positivity you give out, the more positivity you'll receive. We are There's so many negative people, so many negative forces that surround us every single day. Wake up positive. Be positive throughout the day. Put up positive affirmations on the mirror if you need to, on your laptop, your computer, at your desk. And even if you, that person that, the desk is just covered with papers, that's fine. That's how you work. That's okay because that's you. Just be true to yourself. Make time for what matters in your life. And I know we mentioned family. If your family is a stressor, then seek out your friends. Don't gravitate to your family if they are the stressors. Reach out to friends instead. But yes, just take care of yourself. Make yourself happy. Be your own hero. And
Yes.
learn to de-stress.
So important to do that. Well, as we wind down, thanks again for coming on. And you guys will see her again in February. We're going to talk about networking and alignable. And you're going to find out what that is and how that can benefit you and the awesome role she plays. Well, I am Bronwyn, Miss B, the transformational therapist, here to help you become a better you. See you next week.
Well, I thank you, Roland.
You're
Thank you.
welcome. Thanks again.